Karen Behnke is the founder of Juice Beauty, which is a leader in the eco-chic beauty sector. Karen has received many awards throughout her career, such as Goldman Sachs 100 Most Innovative Entrepreneurs and Top Eco Leader named by Glamour Magazine. Some of her past achievements include being an operating executive for 24-Hour Fitness, and that she turned it from a $75 million profit business to having over $1 billion in revenue. She decided to create Juice Beauty during her pregnancy with her first child at 40. Karen discovered that the skin can absorb 60% of the products placed on it, and that there were very few healthy personal care products that worked well.
Juice Beauty believes in advanced beauty solutions that harness the best of certified organic ingredients. It delivers clinically validated skincare and vibrant plant pigment makeup that provides beautiful results, enrich your well-being, and sustain the earth. Juice Beauty skincare and makeup products retail at Neiman Marcus, Bloomingdale's, ULTA Beauty, and Sephora Canada. Healthy and organic living is also part of her home life and is a key part of Juice Beauty's Sonoma farm, where Karen and her family enjoy organic food, bedding, clothing, and towels and live a sustainable life. Glow Radio is a podcast for sassy entrepreneurs who are in the process of quitting their much-hated day job to work for themselves full-time.
You can expect weekly conversations with unapologetic creatives, business owners, and influencers.
We discuss tips on how to reach your goals, manage your time, and keep your sanity while being a major boss babe.
We are Jacqueline and Clara, your favorite hype women who will cheer you on and push you to create the life that you want. We're business strategists, career and life mentors, and wellness advocates. Hit that subscribe button and follow us on IG at Glow Radio Co. Stay sassy, babes.
Hello.
All right, hello, Karen. Thank you so much for joining us on Glow Radio. We are so excited to have you. Juice Beauty is like one of our favorite beauty brands.
Oh, great. Well, you guys are gorgeous, so I'm glad.
Thank you.
So how about you tell us a little bit about your background and journey, because we know that you've been an entrepreneur for 20 plus years. So tell us how you went from creating your first business to now having Juice Beauty come this far.
Well, I like that 20 years. It's actually been longer. But so let's see. I actually started entrepreneuring in the early 1980s, right out of college. So I started one of the first corporate wellness companies in the country. I first started a fitness aerobics business. Then I started one of the first corporate wellness companies in the country a few years later. And so that was about, 15 years of entrepreneuring in the fitness and wellness arena, and then sat on boards and everything. But that kind of takes me to my 40s, which was a long time ago. And I had never read a beauty products label until I started having my babies in my 40s. Which was a little late, I know. Mm-hmm. And the first I had, despite having been in the fitness and nutrition industry for, 20 years at that point, I had never read a beauty products label. And despite having helped pioneer the whole wellness industry in the States, never read a beauty products label until I started thinking about what's absorbed in my body. And that's when it hit me. And then years later, bought the name and started Juice Beauty from scratch.
Wow, that must have been, did you always know you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
It was just one of those, it's kind of in your blood. It's either in your blood or not. Yeah. And it just, when I got out of college from Michigan and moved to California, it's just the first thing I did as I started an aerobics exercise company and then started a wellness company. I don't know. It never occurred to me to look for a job.
That's awesome. So how did you have the funds to start your business? Like, did you save? Did you have investors? Tell us more about that.
Well, a long time ago, again, go way back to when I was out of college, had no resources, no network, no real business experience. I actually, it's something you couldn't do now. I opened 17 credit cards all on the same day. This was in the 1980s.
Oh my goodness.
You couldn't do that now because of electronics and they can track it. But I opened 17 credit cards all on the same day with a 2,000 to 3,000 line of credit. And I just juggled those credit cards, paying them off, and that was my first line of credit. Then, of course, that was my wellness company. With Juice Beauty, which is, I started later, and after I had sold my wellness company and had some success, I actually raised the money in about 24 hours, the first round, because I had already built a wellness company, sold it, been on a couple boards. But I called people that I knew and that I had worked with and that I had, done business with and that I had worked with for years, and told them I was putting my money up first and would they come in behind me. It's much easier to raise money if you're putting your money in first.
Mm-hmm. So what would you say was a pivotal point for Juice Beauty? So when do you feel like it was your first big break?
Our first big break was getting accepted at Ulta Beauty in the United States, and then probably also Sephora Canada. So Ulta Beauty in the United States was our first big break, and I just literally called the CEO of Ulta, which was a pretty big company at the time, and just kept saying, I'm going to be in the Midwest. I'm going to be in the Midwest. I've got an amazing product line. And so finally, I think his secretary was tired of hearing from me. And we met, and I talked to him about how we were radically transforming the chemistry of beauty, and that we were doing organic beauty, and that it was going to be completely different, but high efficacy. And he said, I'll give you 50 stores. And if you do well, maybe you can go all store. And we did well. And then we went to 400 stores, and now we're in 1,100 stores with Ulta. And then the next big break was with Sephora Canada, probably, I'm going to say 4 years ago, when we entered there, and we've just done so well there. So, Ulta Beauty in the United States and Sephora Canada are we're probably our two biggest breaks. They're just such great retailers.
What are some of your tips for pitching? Like, how did you get these retailers to sell your product?
Well, authenticity. And, the story came naturally to me. A lot of people come to me and say, how do you develop a brand story? I'm like, well, your brand story is your brand story. I mean, it's what your brand's about. So, but articulating it is probably more of an art. So you have to really refine it and focus it and make sure that they, you get right to the point of refined, focused, authentic story, and let them know what it will do for them. For us, Juice Beauty provides an alternative from all the traditional conventional chemical brands, and also goes beyond kind of natural, clean, green, whatever, to authentically organic. So that's the niche that we provided for Ulta and Sephora, and then again Neiman Marcus and Bloomingdale's, etc. But so high efficacy skincare and vibrant makeup, yet vibrant makeup with plant pigments and organic ingredients, and high efficacy skincare yet with organic ingredients. So really, kind of defining your brand story and what it will do for the retailer or the customer.
Yeah. Wow, that's really interesting. I also wanted to know, what were one of the biggest things that you've learned with all these years of being an entrepreneur?
Well, all these years is right. So because, gosh, my wellness company was 15 some years, and then there was some time in between while I was having babies and sitting on boards, and now Juice Beauty will be 14 in July. So, woo!
Congratulations.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess when people talk about Juice Beauty as pioneering, I won't take offense to it as an age thing. Anyway, you asked what I learned. Is that what?
Yeah, like the biggest, I guess, lessons that you've learned as an entrepreneur.
listen to my gut. And every time I feel like that I completely ignore my gut feeling, I regret it. And certainly sometimes you might kind of have some doubts and everything, but then you look at data, you listen to your people for sure, if you've got good people around you and good advice. But every once in a while, I will say to my husband, everyone's telling me this is the right thing to do, but I just don't know about it. And often that comes true. I just get this gnawing feeling in my gut that I can't articulate it, but it just doesn't seem right. And so that's one piece of advice. And the second piece of advice is follow your passion. So if you're not passionate about what you're doing, it's not very much fun. And you won't overcome all the obstacles. I mean, there's so many obstacles, as you guys know, when you start something, that you have to be able to leap over them every single day. And if you're passionate about it, that makes it a lot more fun, a lot more enjoyable, and you'll get over those obstacles.
For sure. Could you tell us about one of the biggest risks that you've taken in your career, and what did you learn from that?
I think the biggest risk I took in my career was starting Juice Beauty. My wellness company, I was young and I had nothing to lose. I had nothing to my name. But Juice Beauty, here I was, I don't know, 47, 48, however it was, let's see, I don't know, 47, 57, yeah, I don't know, 40, I was in my late, I was past 45. And I had never started or run a consumer products company. So, I had been in service businesses my whole life. So just the fact that somehow I thought I could start a consumer products company and then start an organic beauty company when it was a sea of naturals and conventional chemicals, I think that was the biggest risk I've ever taken.
Would you say that getting into the organic products was really difficult, especially in the US? Like the regulations and all that?
Very difficult, because your products have to be over 70% organic content, and so it's very hard to do that. So I wouldn't want to, food grade is a whole different thing, but product grade is over 70% total organic content. We meet that criteria, and it's very difficult.
What are 3 things that you would tell someone who's an aspiring entrepreneur?
Well, one we talked about is follow your passion for sure. Mm-hmm. Secondly, listen to your gut feelings. I don't know. And third, plan. I mean, I write my plans down on one page, and of course you have to have a business plan and all those things and marketing plans and all that. But if you're running the organization, try to keep your main goals and the main thing that you're focused on just 1 or 2 pages max, and just look at it every single day. And I tell you, that's always, my whole life I've done that with business, and I have it right in front of me, and that's how I operate. And it just really helps, if you get because it's easy for entrepreneurs to get excited about a lot of things, and it keeps you focused.
Yeah. What would you say your day-to-day looks like? Because of course you run a huge business, it can get a little hectic.
Well, I start out every morning and I work out. So my kids are in college now, or our kids, my husband and our kids are in college now. So when they were in school, especially elementary school or junior high, et cetera, oh my gosh, we'd get up at 6:45 and work out around the house. I mean, so by 7 we had taken a quick shower and done, and then you get into that breakfast, carpool insanity. But now that the kids are in college, I sleep till the late time of 6:45 or something, and I work out pretty much every morning from 7 to 8, and then so I can be in the office by right around 9. So I either run, bike, or swim, and we live next to just beautiful open space. So I either run, or we're lucky to have a lap pool. And so So I work out every morning. That gets me going. And then I eat really healthfully. And of course, my skincare regimen is, of course, Juice Beauty. So cleansing in the morning with our green apple cleanser. And then, I use our stem cellular exfoliating peel spray in the shower a lot, our stem cellular moisturizers, CC creams, our phytopigments makeup. And, so of course I have my skincare routine in the morning. But then by the time I get to the office, maybe fueled at least by 2 cups of black tea at that point, organic black tea, and breakfast. And I'm a kind of a pescatarian, fruits, vegetables, organic, fruits and vegetables. I have a series of meetings usually in the beginning of the week, and I try to go to the Juice Beauty Farm. I try to go once a week, every week during the week for meetings or for photo shoots or to entertain people like you. Or for an event, and then that's kind of a typical week. A lot of internal meetings, and I spend a lot of time on product development and marketing and PR. Those are the 3 areas that I spend the most time on.
Mm-hmm. How do you make time for, I guess, relaxing or self-care?
Well, it really helps that I work out in the morning. I have never figured out how anybody can work out at night, because I would never do it. Not in a million years. If I don't do it in the morning, by the time the day's done, I'm done. So that, believe it or not, that hour in the morning. And then on the weekends, my husband and I go on long bike rides or hikes. And that to us is relaxation. We love that. So we love doing that together. But during the week, it's a lot of, I try to, we have a lot of dinners with friends and things like that, and colleagues, and business dinners. So I can't say I wish I slept well and meditated and did things like that, but I do yoga at least once a week. We have yoga Thursdays at Juice Beauty, and so I do yoga once a week, and that is very helpful. But I think the exercise in the morning and eating well, and then relaxing with my husband in the evenings, and with family and friends is probably the most important thing I do. And used to be having more fun with our kids, but they're all out and about now.
Do you have to travel a lot in your profession?
I travel usually in the spring and fall, and to our retailers and to press events and social media events. And but my team travels a little more for me now. But I just got back from Australia because we launched Mecca, Australia.
Oh, awesome. Congrats.
And that couldn't have been, Sydney and Melbourne are so beautiful. It was just stunning.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So moving on, we have a few more just random questions to learn a little bit more about your personality. So first random question we have is, what is your favorite comfort food?
Oh, chocolate.
Okay.
Oh, yum.
No question about it. Organic chocolate.
Awesome.
So our second random question, because you've achieved so much as an entrepreneur, what is on your bucket list?
Oh gosh. Isn't that crazy? I can't think of it.
That's a good sign.
We live in paradise here in Marin County, and we have a Juice Beauty farm now in Healdsburg, which is really paradise. Geez, I've traveled a lot for business and everything. This is going to sound hokey, but really, after our kids get out of college, really, I hope to have less rushed travel with them, with our whole family, because, when your kids are going through school, my husband's a cardiologist and he just retired. And so it's, you go on quick vacations and you relax, you enjoy it, but we're very active. So we tend to do a lot, and not that I would change that, but it would sure be fun to kind of have the kids meet us somewhere for a little bit more relaxed type of, vacations where they're not smaller, or that we're worried about, they got to get back to high school sports teams, or, I don't know, just that I don't have a good answer for that, but that's kind of what I wish we could do sooner rather than later.
That's very valid.
Yeah.
Traveling, relaxed traveling is
Relax
important.
traveling, yeah, with my family.
If you were a superhero, what superpowers would you want?
Oh, to beam myself places, no question. I would beam I hate flying, and I do it my whole life, and it's so ugh. So, and this, if you live in San Francisco, up and down San Francisco to LA, I would love to beam myself places. Just boom, you're there. That would be my superpower, and you wouldn't spend time in airports or on bumpy airplane rides. Beaming myself to other places and then beaming myself back would be awesome.
I think we would all love that too.
If I were, and to follow our mission a little bit more, what I would do is I'd clean up the earth, and so the beaming one is a selfish one, because wouldn't that be fun? Just a boop boop boop, but thinking of the world more, if I had superpowers, I'd clean up the earth. I would just clean up the earth of all the pesticides and garbage and the plastic floating in the ocean, and just all the toxic chemicals that are floating everywhere, whether it's Canada or less in Canada, but Canada or the States or everywhere around the world. That would be my first passion, because if the planet's clean, then animals are clean, and the water's clean, and then humans are not contaminated, and our food isn't contaminated, and we all live a healthier lifestyle. And so that would be, because we're an organic wellness sustainable company, and yes, of course I love beauty and I love makeup and skincare, but I'm an environmentalist, organic and wellness enthusiast at heart. So and that's why our company is the mission that we have, and so that's what I would do.
We completely appreciate that you're so environmentally friendly. Like, we live for that here.
Yes.
Like, this is something that we always talk about and get along with, and we just thank you. Thank you for providing this.
Well, Canada does it's just such a cleaner, it's just a clean country. It's just, you guys really care about the environment a lot, which is amazing. And you read your ingredients a lot.
No, for sure.
We're definitely we read those labels a lot.
And that's why we love Juice Beauty so much. We're like, yes, it's organic.
We appreciate it. We just so appreciate it. It's just, we love it in your country.
So we have our final segment. We're just about finished here. So it is a round of this or that questions. So our first question is face toner or face oil?
Face oil.
Action movies or drama?
Action.
Massage or facial?
Oh, well, massage, because I give myself my facials. I love them both equally, but definitely massage, because I can do my own facials.
Swimming or biking?
Oh, I'm a triathlete. So it's swim, bike, run. I would say I'm a better swimmer, but I like biking more.
Spring or fall?
Spring.
Online shopping or in-store shopping?
Online, because I'm in stores all the time with Juice Beauty. So when it comes to myself, I do it online.
Yeah. Cats or dogs?
Oh, dogs. I have a Labradoodle.
Aww. Just one dog?
Just one.
Oh. Zumba or yoga?
Yoga.
Shower or bubble bath?
Shower.
And the last one, sorry.
Yeah, quick. It's quick.
And the last one is sun or moon?
I love the sun. I wear sunblock, obviously, but I love the sun. I love California. I love the bright light.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. That's all the questions that we had today. It was great hearing a little bit more about your background, and we're so excited to share this with our listeners so that they can learn more about Juice Beauty.
Thank you so much. You guys look adorable on screen.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you taking your time for us.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening, Glow Babes.
Give us our 5 golden stars on iTunes and we'll be your best friends, I swear. And please share this episode with your babes that need some glow and will benefit from this. Thank you.